Hello and welcome to Odds on La Liga, match day 18, last match day of the year, and we have Barcelona, Atlético de Madrid, both level on points to finish La Liga, and Real Madrid, Álvaro, 1 point behind, just won the International Cup in Doha.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Real Madrid had a difficult start of the season, of course, because they had many injuries. But, in Real Madrid terms, everything that is not perfect is bad. But if you look at it with a little bit of perspective, you will see that they have won the European Super Cup in August, they have won the Intercontinental Cup. If they win the game they have in hand, they will be top in the league. And despite the many injuries, they haven't lost any competition yet. I think that they are in contention. Then Barcelona is top in the league, but this weekend they will have to beat Atletico, and that's a very difficult ask these days. And when it comes to the relegation battle, again, what happens to Valencia is very concerning. They lost the last weekend as well. They are bottom of the table, and I believe that there is a real chance that for the first time in 40 years, Valencia gets relegated.
Indeed. Well, guys, remember, of course, to press the like, leave us your comments, subscribe to the channel. Let's go on now with the show. And the first game is going to be on Friday. We have Girona, Valladolid. Valladolid is still in the relegation zone, even if they beat Valencia. As you mentioned before, they are 4 points away from salvation. Girona had a great 2024, probably the best of their history, but they are coming to this game with 4 consecutive defeats in all competitions, Álvaro.
Yes, but I think that they needed a break, and this week is going to help them. They haven't played any competitive football for a full week, and this is good for them. That's why I'm going to back them. Look, I'm going to back them, number one, because Valladolid is a bad team right now, okay? They score less than 1 goal per game. True, they beat Valencia, as you say, the last weekend, but still, they are in relegation. They changed the manager. The new manager is 𝐬𝐭𝐴, a manager that comes from South America. He also coached in Mexico. Could it be a rebound effect, a reaction with the new manager? I'm not discarding that, but I do believe that Girona is a better side. They are playing at home. They must be fresh. And I am totally aware that they won't be counting on Romeo and 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐵, who are not available for this game. So the axis of the midfield is not there. But still, I think that Girona is going to win it. It's going to get something out of this game. So I'm going to back Girona with an Asian handicap -1, which pays 168. Otherwise, Girona to win and over 1.5 goals in the game, it pays 167. Basically, the prices or the values are equivalent, and both of them are fine with me.
All right, Girona, Valladolid involved in the relegation battle. Also, Getafe, next game on Saturday. Getafe, Mallorca, very competitive, always Getafe, but they have a problem with the goal, as they showed in the Metropolitano, another defeat away from home, only 1 point above relegation, but at home. Lately, they beat Espanyol and Valladolid. Mallorca is going to be tougher, Álvaro, because they are doing a great season. They beat Girona, and they are in European spots right now.
Yeah, this game is tricky. I think that, without being a party pooper, this could be one of those games in which I say this is a pass. But if I took some odds, of course, Mallorca to win 4.0 for a team that is clearly better on the table than Getafe stands out. That said, Mallorca to win is not for me, okay? I understand that some people that look for odds rather than try to follow a little bit the logic of the games and what tends to happen. Well, people who look for odds, Mallorca to win sounds like something very, very, very good to be true, right? But Getafe at home, they've been doing what they had to do. They got 3 wins this season, all of them at home, all without conceding, and always by 1 goal or 2 goal margins. So Getafe is not scoring a lot of goals. We have said about that. That's why even over 1.5 goals in the game pays 180, and that is down to Getafe's low scoring output. But Getafe has been a team desperate to recover Borja Mayoral from injury. Mayoral shouldn't be ready for this game. And until Mayoral is back, Bordalas had one big task, which was making sure the team defended well. And he achieved it. Because the team has conceded only 14 goals. Only Real Sociedad and Atletico better Getafe's defensive numbers. Then, of course, they don't score many goals. They have scored only 11. They lost in Nesunal 18 months ago. Borja Mayoral is out. So, the team has to fight a lot to score a single goal. But still, this is a pass because for me, Mallorca doesn't have big difference between their scores away and at home. If you look at their numbers, Mallorca away got 12 out of 24 points and at home 15 out of 30. So there is no real difference between their achievements at home and on the road. No 𝗵𝗵𝐿 for this game. That's important because 𝗵𝗵𝐿 is probably their best striker. But still, they beat Girona with 10 men as 𝗵𝗵𝐿 was sent off after 32 minutes. So Mallorca is competitive, yes, but Getafe is the ultimate survivor in La Liga too. So this game, sorry, but I think that it's going to be a pass. But if you go for the odds, I flagged them before, Mallorca to win pays 4.0 and Mallorca is clearly better on the table than Getafe.
4 wins, 4 defeats, playing away for Mallorca, as you said, is not bad at all. Next one is Celta de Vigo, Real Sociedad, with Real Sociedad improving at the end of 2024 after a bad start of the season, although they couldn't beat Las Palmas in the last game. They are now only 2 points away from the European spots and 6 unbeaten games in all competitions without conceding. Actually, the last time they conceded, you might remember, Alvaro, was in the derby against Athletic and Celta. They do much better when they play at home. They are 5th in the home standings, only 2 defeats against the teams from the capital, Real Madrid and Atletico.
Yeah, this game is going to be a nice one. Definitely 3:15 at Balaidos. I think that I'm going to incline myself for Real Sociedad just based on their current run. I think that they should have beaten Las Palmas. It was 0-0 at the end of the 90 minutes in that game at the Real Arena between Real Sociedad and the team from the Canary Islands. But, anyone could have scored. There were many chances in that game and Real Sociedad is playing better. And Real Sociedad not only have corrected their situation in the league, but also in Europe. I mean, they beat 𝗵𝗵𝐿, but also more impressively, they beat Ajax as well at Real Arena. So, yeah, they haven't lost a football game since the 24th of November, which doesn't seem too distant. But if I tell you that in between the 24th of November and now, Real Sociedad has played 6 games, I think that explains the picture better. So, yeah, Real Sociedad is in a good moment. They have achieved some wins that I would say that they were pretty promising, like, for example, beating Betis 2-0, beating Ajax, also, beating 𝗵𝗵𝐿, all of those games with clean sheets. So, Real Sociedad is defending super well. Basically, their defensive numbers are as good as Atlético's. So I don't think Real Sociedad is going to lose this game. Celta is very good when it comes to playing at home, attacking, being offensive, being daring, ambitious. But Real Sociedad is in a very good moment, and Celta is not in a particular great moment right now after a very good start of the season. So draw no bet for Real Sociedad will be my take, 178.
Okay, let's go to the next game. Is Osasuna Athletic, another team having a great season. Athletic, now they are 6 points away from Villarreal in the top 4. Perhaps, or it's very likely that they can play Champions League next season. They couldn't beat Alavés after 6 consecutive wins. And Osasuna, Alvaro, they are very dangerous when they are playing at home. 4th best team in the home table. So this is a tough one for Athletic.
It's a tough one for Athletic, yeah. And this is also some sort of a derby as well. So this is not easy. We saw what happened to Athletic de Bilbao last weekend when they traveled to Vitoria and played Alavés. They got the first goal by Unai Gómez and then they controlled the game, but they didn't go for the second goal. Or I'm not saying that they didn't have the appetite, but I think that there was a mix of having played on Thursday plus thinking that they had everything under control, plus Alavés not creating chances, and out of the sudden Alavés scored a goal. So, Athletic is good right now. They control the games very well. They haven't lost the football game since early October, which is a lot because they are playing in Europe as well. And the only task is killing the games off quicker, maybe. They are playing against Osasuna. Osasuna has a totally different run to Athletics in the sense that they are winless since early November. They have added to their tally 4 draws in a row in the last 4 games. And yes, 𝗵𝗲𝗻𝗀 is scoring goals because he has scored 10. But Osasuna wish they had a player who could actually join 𝗵𝗲𝗻𝗀 with the scoring duties, because Brian Zaragoza, as far as I am concerned, is not ready for the game. He's still injured, and it's a real shame because since Brian Zaragoza picked the injury, basically Osasuna stopped winning. Really, it's as simple as that. Of course, there are more factors, but what I'm saying is true 100%. I mean, since Brian Zaragoza picked his injury, Osasuna is winless. And, they will have to learn to play without Brian Zaragoza. This game, I think that is going to be... I'm going to incline for the goals market here. And I think that there is a little bit of an invitation for that by the bookmakers, because over 2 goals, which isn't something crazy to think, pays 170. I'm going to take that one. Over 2 goals in this game, 170.
Next game, the best one in this match day, Barcelona, Atlético de Madrid, the best 2 teams so far in La Liga, both level on points with 38. Who would have said this 2 months ago when Atlético de Madrid was struggling, when they lost to Betis? But since then, 11 consecutive wins for Atlético de Madrid, so they arrive to Montjuic in the best moment of the season. Remember that Simeone never won in Barcelona's ground, and Barcelona is completely the opposite. Alvaro, first thing, and very important, Lamine Yamal is out. Yeah. Then 2 consecutive defeats at home against minor rivals like Las Palmas and Leganés, and it's only 1 win in the last 6 La Liga games. So this is going to be very tense and very interesting.
It's going to be interesting. I'm gonna clear the mystery as soon as possible. I'm gonna go for Barcelona to win. It pays 191, okay? But now I will try to justify it. I also like over 5.5 corners for Barcelona, but that's another story. That pays 192. So those would be my recommendations.
Well, they've won all the important games this season against the big clubs.
My rationale was more or less that one. Because if you look at their numbers in the Champions League, where all the games look dangerous, Barcelona, apart from the game against Monaco, in which they were reduced to 10 men very early, they have won all the games. So I think Barcelona will, of course, with the difficulties that Atlético de Madrid will present, which are many, Barcelona will take this game with the focus and the seriousness needed. And I think that one of the main problems of Barcelona has been the lack of focus sometimes. And something that I didn't like against Leganés, the feeling within Barcelona that the goal will happen somehow. A goal will come somehow. We will score. But to score a goal, you have to work on that. And against Leganés, Barcelona didn't work enough. I think they didn't play with the urgency and the speed needed. But against Atlético de Madrid, I do believe that at least for this game, they will go back to the mentality they had in the big nights, like, for example, at Santiago Bernabéu, or, for example, in the Signal Iduna Park, where they didn't play particularly better than Dortmund, but at least they were pepped, alert, focused, So this is my reason behind the backing Barcelona to win with 191. Obviously, Asian handicap minus 0.25 for Barcelona limits the losses, but also limits the wins as well. So, but that is something that you can consider too. But the big problem for Barcelona, or one of them, is that no one coming from the bench, no one from the recovered players, I'm talking about 𝗵𝗵, Frenkie de Jong, is offering a good display. Apart from Ferran Torres, whose football can only be defended via the numbers, because there hasn't been much more to his performances either. Of course, he won the game at Dortmund, but if you exclude the goals from the equation, Ferran Torres doesn't contribute a lot to the style, to the mechanism of play. So, someone from the bench has to step up. And this is where I want to say something about Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal has been instrumental for Barcelona's point tally and Barcelona's good start of the season. Because every time Barcelona doesn't know how to attack, they give the ball to Lamine Yamal and he offers a solution. But Lamine is not here. Lamine won't be playing in this game and he won't be available until January because he's got an injury in his ankle. Who is going to play? This is the big question for me. Could be Ferran Torres, could be Fermín, which I prefer because Fermín has more energy, or maybe Frenkie de Jong and then Dani Olmo can play in one of the wings. I don't know. But whoever comes out from the bench and takes the position of Lamine Yamal has to step up because Barcelona needs that. When it comes to Atlético de Madrid, look, 6 straight wins in the league. I know that Barcelona away is never easy for them, but I do believe that they've got the intelligence to negotiate Barcelona's high line. Barcelona's high line has been more attacked and more dismantled after what happened at Santiago Bernabéu. I think that 𝗵𝐵apé just being offside for 6 or 7 times in the game just turn on the alarms of the rest of the opponents of Barcelona. How can we play against this? And many teams have found a way, like Leganés, for example, the other day, like Sevilla to a lesser extent. So I think that Julián in the space and Antoine Griezmann with his tactical intelligence, they may find a solution to dismantle Barcelona's high line. But still, I believe that Barcelona is going to win this game because on the big nights this season, they have a step up and they have proven their level. And by the way, just last thing, 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 is playing really well. I want to say that him acting as an attacker or a bonus midfielder has shown the way to many players of Atlético de Madrid. 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 right now is like the energetic dynamo that Atlético de Madrid needed. And, he may be the son of Simeone, yeah, but he deserves to be in the lineup.
Well, risky bet, kind of, going for Barcelona straight win, although they are super favorites, although Simeone has a very bad record when he plays away in Barcelona, but is the worst Barcelona of the season against the best Atlético de Madrid of the season, and is the best moment for the colchoneros to set a statement and tell people that they can fight for La Liga this season. Is 5.5 Atlético to win La Liga, 2.2 Barcelona to win, 2 for Real Madrid to win. So the title race is really hot and interesting this season. Let's go with the games on Sunday. Valencia Alavés is the first one. This is key for the relegation because Valencia bottom of the table, 11 points. Alavés is the first team to stay in Primera with 16. And Valencia, Alvaro, lost to Valladolid at the weekend, drew with Espanyol, midweek game that was postponed, and they still have Baraja on the bench. It's only 1 point in the last 4 games. So it's another final for Valencia, but this time it's at home where they are slightly better than away, because away they are dreadful.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's true. But this is a key game for Valencia. I mean, Valencia got 2 wins this season, and the 2 wins came at home. But the last one against Betis 4-2 in late November looks very distant already, because ever since then Valencia has achieved very bad results, and the truth is that I cannot trust this Valencia side. Yes, they've got a game in hand, but that game in hand is against Real Madrid on the 3rd of January. They may lose that one. That would be very possible. If they don't beat Alavés, I think that Baraja could be doomed, really. And they are going to play this game without some defenders who are supposed to be the good ones of the squad. Because, look, 𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗛𝗏 is not ready. So 𝗵𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗏, the future goalkeeper of Liverpool squad, is not there. Diakabi is not there. Thierry Correia is not there. And 𝗀𝐿𝐵, the captain, is not there. 𝗀𝐿𝐵 has never been available pretty much in 2024. So I'm telling you that the goalkeeper, the first choice goalkeeper, and 3 defenders who are normally starting and bring some experience are not there. So it's going to be very difficult for Valencia to win this game. They will have to make sure that 𝗂𝗂𝗂𝐻𝐵, Pepelu, players like them and Fran Perez take the reins of midfield and try to dominate the game. And please don't give the ball to Alavés a lot, because with the quick transitions, Alavés can really hurt a team like Valencia. So this game is tricky for me. This is another pass. I'm going to say this again, because Valencia is in a very bad streak, and because Alavés is enduring their longest winless streak in the league, all together with Osasuna. The longest winless streak in the league belongs to Alavés. So this is a pass, but otherwise there is an odd that I really like, and I would be happy to go to and to take, because it's about the individual market, and it's about a footballer who seems to be very fine now that he's in the twilight of his career. I'm talking about 𝐿𝐭𝐵cie García. 𝐿𝐭𝐵cie García is playing really well for Alavés right now. He's scoring goals here and there. He's playing against a very inexperienced defense, as I explained before, because Valencia has many players on the sidelines. 𝐿𝐭𝐵cie García to score 4.33 will be my lucky bet of the weekend.
Okay, Álvaro, next game is Real Madrid Sevilla. This is the last game of Jesús Navas as a professional. His farewell was last weekend against Celta at the Ramón Sánchez Pizjuán. Was a great farewell, by the way, to one of the best Spanish players in the history, and he should have more minutes at the Bernabeu. Also great ground to say goodbye to football. For the game itself, Álvaro, Real Madrid are super favorites. They drop points against Rayo Vallecano in a really bad game, to be honest, especially in the defensive area, but they are boosted by the victory, by the win on Wednesday against Pachuca. Another title for Real Madrid is 5 titles in 2024, and Ancelotti is the manager with more titles in Real Madrid history, and this is not easy, of course.
No, it's not easy. I mean, and 2024 has been a terrific year for Real Madrid. And there is something that happens to Real Madrid that has to be said. I mean, when they win the Champions League, then the following 2 titles come pretty much by default: the European Super Cup and the Intercontinental Cup, because Real Madrid is normally clearly better than the winner of the Europa League, and clearly better than any club from any other confederation. So, titles are coming. Welcome. I think Real Madrid has been really good this year. They brought themselves Kylian Mbappé. It's true, Toni Kroos retired, but if you look at the numbers and what they have achieved so far under Carlo Ancelotti, you can only praise them, really. I mean, big picture, perspective. I think Real Madrid is going to win this game. They are clearly better than Sevilla. Sevilla only got 1 win away this season. It was against Espanyol, I believe. But other than that, Sevilla's biggest results have come at home. Sevilla is basically half of the table team these days. It's a real shame, but it's the new reality, and I believe that there is an improvement in them, definitely. I think that they have to replace a very veteran old squad by young players, and those young players, some of them can be good or will be good, but it will take them some time. I don't think that Sevilla is a disaster. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they put a decent performance, but at some point Real Madrid's quality is going to impose itself, despite Vinicius not being available for this game because he is booked. He's serving as a one game ban. So I'm going to go to the following market that I love. Real Madrid to win the second half. It pays 165. And Mbappé to score 173. Those are my favorites. I could even combine them really and create a mini ACCA in this game. And by the way, hats off with Jesús Navas and his career. I love the player.
Me too. Great Jesús Navas. Well, Real Madrid, remember, they also have 1 game in hand. They will play on the 3rd of January against Valencia. So if they win both games, they will top the table. But, of course, they have to beat Sevilla and Valencia, which is not easy. Next game, Leganés Villarreal. Historic win for Leganés. First time in their history that they beat Barcelona away 1-0. They scored very early. It was difficult to keep a clean sheet, but they did it. It's the first win also away in the season for Leganés, now 3 points away from Espanyol, and Villarreal are in the worst moment of the season. I don't know what is going on with them. Alvaro drew with Rayo Vallecano, lost to Betis, is 6 winless games in all competitions because they were also knocked out in the Copa del Rey.
Yep, their last win came on the 9th of November, and I think the defensive numbers of Villarreal have costed them. I mean, Marcelino a year ago came to fix them, and it looked like he was on his way to doing it. But we could see at the start of the season already that Villarreal was a little bit of an all-or-nothing team, right? I remember perfectly the game against Celta in August. It was 4-3, and Celta could have won it in the stoppage time, basically, because had like 3 clear chances in the stoppage time of the second half. So Villarreal was a little bit playing with fire from the start of the season. So as soon as they stopped scoring, so everything went worse. For example, a footballer who stopped scoring was 𝐬𝐭𝐴 I think that he went through a very bad scoring run until finally midweek he managed to score. By the way, he's pretty much always scoring in stoppage time. 5 of his 8 goals this season came in the aggregate time of the second half. But yeah, with 28 goals conceded in already 16 or 17 games, you cannot really challenge for the 4th spot, because I believe that Villarreal's main target this season was to qualify for the Champions League, just profiting maybe the fact that Athletic Bilbao and Real Sociedad were playing European football, plus Sevilla is going through a moment of indefinition, if that makes sense. But Villarreal's defensive numbers have been poor. That said, their games are still entertaining. Things happen in Villarreal's games, and I'm going to go for both teams to score 186 or over 2.25 goals, 177. Both are fine. Maybe I prefer both teams to score, to be honest. Why not? Because I think Leganés can score. They scored against Barcelona the other day with a goal from 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐵, a player, by the way, who had played most of his career in the lower ranks of Spanish football. But, I'm not a massive fan of Leganés this season, but I think that from the teams that got promoted, maybe they are the best suited to compete in the top flight. We can say that as well with some footballers who know their jazz and know how to play in Primera, like, for example, Munir El Haddadi being one of them. And, just an asterisk to say that 2 players that came this season, like Haller to Leganés and James Rodríguez to Rayo Vallecano, have been real flops. So not every veteran big star that comes to La Liga will find success. Not always.
Yeah, Boateng, remember, for instance.
Yeah.
Talking about Boateng, Unión Deportiva Las Palmas, Espanyol in relegation spots. Las Palmas with the new manager bounce 4 points away. Still good numbers for Diego Martínez. Las Palmas had changed completely since he arrived to the club. Last game was a draw against Real Sociedad. Before that, beat Valladolid, beat Barcelona. It's only 1 defeat with the new manager, and Espanyol, Alvaro, looking really bad. The draw against Valencia was not enough. They also drew with Osasuna, and next 2 games are key. They are playing against Leganés and Valladolid at home.
Yeah, definitely. We could say that those games are clear 6-pointers. But, for this game, even though Espanyol will probably set their eyes in the following 3 games and say, all right, we have to get points out of here somehow. I think that Las Palmas is too much of a task for them right now, because Las Palmas are in a good moment, and I am totally aware that they are still not perfect, but Las Palmas is scoring more goals than they were. Also, they've got players with a lot of technique, and this is something that makes them keep the ball when they have to rest a little bit, the likes of Campaña or Kyrian or Sandro himself. I mean, they are really good footballers, and it's a real shame that Moleiro is not available for this game, because he's one of those Las Palmas footballers that is worth watching, but Espanyol's moment is not good. Las Palmas to win doesn't pay as much as I would like to, because I think that it will be more logical maybe for the odds to be 2.0 for Las Palmas to win. But anyway, the bookmakers think that is a 187 for Las Palmas to win, and I could be happy to take it as well. Yeah, I will take this one too.
And the last game is Betis Rayo Vallecano. Great win for Betis at La Cerámica. And the president was very angry at the referee with Chimi Avila's red card, to be honest. I think it's an orange, let's say. It could be yellow, it could be red. But they were in poor form until they played Barcelona, and now they got some important points. Rayo Vallecano comfortable in mid-table. Also draws against Espanyol or Real Madrid recently, Alvaro, and beat Valencia. So this could be a level game, I would say, really balanced, but still Betis are super favorites according to the bookies.
Super favorites. Maybe they are not that favorites, considering that Rayo Vallecano got 3 wins away this season. They got 5 in total, and 3 of them have been away. And then basically their numbers away are better than they are at Vallecas, really. But still, Betis is in a decent moment right now. Not in a great moment. That would be lying, I think. But they have corrected a little bit the poor situation. Remember that at the start of the month, they lost 2-0 to Real Sociedad. And, they were losing 2-0 in that game by the 31st minute. But, later they went through one more round in the Cup. They won in the Conference League, something that they needed, and they drew with Barcelona 2-2 with a good performance, competitive. They never gave up despite being losing that game. And then they beat Villarreal, and that was impressive as well. We know that Villarreal are hit and miss, but Betis won with 10 players. And, I think that the Betis president was a bit of a populist, because Chimi Avila, yes, it could have been just a yellow, but he could have also been sent off for his challenge. Chimi Avila is a footballer that doesn't help himself, because, many times he's not available because he keeps on getting booked and booked and booked. But Betis has a footballer like 𝐬𝐭𝐚𝐲 that when he is on the pitch, he makes the difference. I mean, 7 goals in the league for him. And 𝐜𝐭𝐴𝐵 is coming back. So the future looks slightly brighter for Betis in 2025 than, let's say, November 2024. That's for sure. For this game, look, Betis winning, I'm going to tell you what the odds are exactly, because I'm not too sure about them. 180, yeah, but Rayo Vallecano, on the other hand, put such a display against Real Madrid that maybe I prefer to go for the over 2 goals in this game. It pays 172. And I really like it, because Rayo Vallecano is not a high-scoring side, but still, they've got quality. And Betis, yes, with a player like 𝐬𝐭𝐴𝐵, you get pretty much guaranteed that at home you're going to score at least 1. So over 2 goals in this game, 172.
All right, well, these are the last games in La Liga in 2024. Of course, remember that you can post your own tips in Oddspedia and participate in our tipster competitions, or even create your own tipster competition thanks to rivals. Alvaro, let's go with your safe bet.
It will be Asian handicap -1 for Real Madrid, 149.
And the ACCA?
Girona to win, Asian handicap -1 for Real Madrid, over 5.5 corners for Barcelona. Altogether, 418.
All right. Thank you, Alvaro. Have a great Christmas time. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.